Just just when it seemed quiet for a moment, all of a sudden the continuing chaos in Kent continues. Because last time we were talking about this, of course, you had Isabella Kemp, who seems to be the one who Linden Kemkaran seems to be pinning the leak on, or at least seems to think the leaker is. However, given the fact that not only is she taking them to a tribunal, which, as I've said, has to all be rehashed in court, and then Reform actually has to prove that she was the leaker, and she also has to present evidence that she isn't. Why on earth is she taking them to a tribunal if she's the leaker? I've said this a number of times before. I do not think they got the leaker. I think that these 7 people, yes, that's how many people they kicked out over this, 7 people that they kicked out over this, not one of them, I think, was the leaker. I think that leaker could very well still be inside that Reform UK group. I think they're just sitting there now waiting, I hope, to release some more stuff. And bear in mind, if you are the leaker and you see this and you want to leak to me that full Linden Kemkaran meeting, because I want to see the full context of that. I want to see all that meeting. I'm one of those weirdos who likes to see that full thing, because I like to see the inner workings and the reasonings and the behind the scenes, etc. So, if you do ever want to hand that stuff to me, we'll do it properly, etc. I won't reveal your name or anything like that. Because quite frankly, I want you to continue to be the invisible thorn in Linden Kemkaran's side for many years to come. But the other thing that was happening, if you may remember, there was a group that formed by 2 people who were kicked out. One of them, of course, was kicked out over his erotic novel. Still can't believe that was a thing. But they went on to create the Independent Reformers Group. Well, now these people have just been given the boot. They've gone on to create their own brand new group called the Independent Group. Just so many groups. It's becoming very People's Front of Judea, honestly, down in Kent at the moment. But before we go on to cover more of this, honestly, quite frankly, craziness going on down there still, and will still go on for many times yet. Please do, of course, remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button down below. There are, of course, links down below. The Patreon page, the Buy Me Coffee link, where you can well buy me coffee, the YouTube thank you button, the YouTube membership, all down below. QR code up there. If you scan that, they'll take you straight to the Patreon page. And, of course, as always, don't forget to click the like, share, and, of course, subscribe button if you are new. And, of course, don't forget to ring the bell as well so you get notifications of when we drop a new video or when we go live. So, as always, thank you very much for all the support that you guys do show the channel. Now, on to this new mess for Kent, because so 3 now expelled Reform UK councillors form the Independent Group. So this isn't the Independent Reformers Group. No, this is the Independent Group at Kent County Council. And meanwhile, there's these independent councillors sitting on that like, I'm not part of that group. I don't want anything to do with that group. Oh, it could only get more funnier if there's yet another defection and someone goes and creates like the Independent Alliance group. Could only be more funny. But anyway, so 3 councillors expelled by Reform UK have now gone to form a new group. This is currently made up of Councillor Paul Thomas, Brian Black, and Oliver Bradshaw, who all now represent Maidstone divisions of the Kent County Council. They were all booted out of Reform UK at the end of October for, quote, allegedly displaying a, quote, lack of integrity. Basically, you can sum that up as Linden Kemkaran thought one of those people might be the leaker, so get rid of them. Get rid of them. They were these expulsions, of course, all came in the wake of the video of the leader, Linden Kemkaran, swearing and, of course, shouting at her members, of course, published by The Guardian. In the footage of the viral meeting, Kemkaran, of course, told the councillors they would have to, quote, effing suck it up when questioned about decisions that she'd taken over local government reorganisation. And again, I want to watch that full meeting. I want to see the full thing. Please send me that. I want to know how that escalated to that. I want to see like the before and after of that. I just want to know. I'm so curious because we've only ever seen like the small clips. So all three, of course, vehemently deny any wrongdoing. And like I say, I don't think any of the people they've kicked out are the leakers. And I think the Isabella Kemp, who Linda Carmen seems to be saying that she was the leaker. There's no evidence again that she was a leaker. And again, if she takes them to an employment tribunal, all this is going to have to be rehashed. Again, that's not going to, I guarantee you, prove that she was the leaker. So who was the leaker? Well, we still don't know, which is, again, the funny thing. So, since, of course, Reform UK swept into power back in May, having secured 57 of the 81 seats, 7 have now, of course, been thrown out. 1 has defected, and another has, of course, been suspended pending criminal proceedings. Great track record there for Reform. So, the independent group, or TIG, is to now be led, of course, by Councillor Thomas. TIG will, of course, press for places on vital scrutiny committees and, of course, are not to believe to be aligned with any of the other opposition parties, the biggest of which is, of course, the Liberal Democrat group. Councillor Bradshaw went on to say, we've now formed a new grouping with the hope that we will now able to get on to certain committees, but also with the hope that we will now be able to respond to leaders' speeches and, of course, put forward motions and so on. That's going to be so hilarious, whether this actually succeeds or does anything. We'll see, of course. I don't think it will. Anyway, the 2 other, of course, expelled members, Councillor Maxine Forgill. Again, I don't think she did it either. By the looks of her statement, she's been very adamant it wasn't me. Again, and of course, Isabella Kemp. Again, well, she's taking them to an employment tribunal. That'll be interesting when that comes back. Although, that obviously will have a have to say that. But again, if Isabella Kemp ever does see this and the employment tribunal happens, and you want to come back, I want to come on here and say this is what happened at the employment tribunal, then by all means, feel free to get in touch. But of course, at least let the tribunal finish first. So, who, of course, also were at least widely expected to also be possible members of TIG, but are currently not joined. Or have not joined, shall we say. Who knows whether they will or not. Neither, of course, at the time was available for comment. Councillor Bill Bonn and Robert Fox were also thrown out of Reform. More recently, announced the formation of the Independent Reformers. Of course, this is the Independent Reformers, of course, not to be confused with the Independent group now. They were also kicked out by email, which claimed they had now, of course, undermined the party's interest and brought the reform now into disrepute. Councillor Barnett was, of course, suspended in the wake of the video leak, while Councillor Ford faced allegations of misconduct after a, quote, unofficial complaint was made by, of course, female members of staff at Kent County Council. Both men deny any wrongdoing. I have to say, honestly, this is just a complete shambles. Guys, just go join another party or just resign. Just do the right thing. Far better for you to resign, I would say, at this point. You clearly, of course, are no longer welcome in the reform group. I don't think any of the other parties would welcome you, which is why I think they've created their own new alliance. They clearly don't want to be part of the independent reform group. Then they've created now the independent group. Yeah, which honestly, again, weird. Honestly, so weird. The situation down in Kent continues to, of course, rumble on. And remember, December, of course, you are expected to produce the budget to your cabinet around this time. like many of these reform councils, we've got possibly a fun couple of weeks. But of course, you've got to remember this is an incredibly short time. Probably, really, we're doing this on the 7th. So if you think about it, they've only really got until, I'd say, the 19th. Maybe not even that. Maybe even like the 18th at that point, because after that, after like, like everyone else in the UK, on the 15th of December, everyone pretty much checks out until January at that point. So they've got literally maybe 2 weeks at most to get this done and through the cabinet. Most of these reform councils. So we'll see. We'll see if they make this deadline. Some of them actually managed to make, of course, the LGR deadline. That's the local government reform deadline. So, congratulations on that. But even then, that looks like that all these problems seem to have a lot of problems in them. So, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But as always, thank you, of course, very much for watching. And of course, let me know what you think about this continuing Kent chaos, especially if you are from Kent. I always love to know and hear what you think about all this. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.